Have you ever wondered how the world was created in Japanese mythology? In the ancient tale of Izanagi and Izanami, we explore the origins of the world, the islands of Japan, and the cycle of life and death. These two primordial deities were tasked with bringing form to the formless chaos of the universe. With a sacred spear in hand, they began their divine mission. But as their story unfolds, we learn that even the gods are not immune to tragedy, loss, and the powerful forces of renewal. Join us as we delve into the captivating myth of Izanagi and Izanami, discovering the profound lessons hidden within one of Japan's most ancient stories. In the beginning, there was chaos, nothing but an endless, swirling void. Izanagi, the male god, and Izanami, the female goddess, were sent by the elder gods to bring order to this chaos. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, the two deities dipped their jeweled spear into the waters below. When they lifted the spear, drops of water fell back into the sea and formed the first island of Japan, Onogoro Island. This marked the beginning of creation. Filled with excitement, Izanagi and Izanami descended to the newly formed island to continue their task. They created more islands, shaping the very land of Japan. Their union was not only one of creation, but of divine partnership, representing the balance of male and female energies in the cosmos. The islands they formed became the home of the Japanese people, and thus the myth of creation took root in the hearts of generations to come. As Izanagi and Izanami continued their work, they decided to create gods who would oversee the world they had brought into existence. Together, they gave birth to numerous deities representing various aspects of nature, such as the seas, mountains, and winds. However, when Izanami gave birth to Kagutsuchi, the fire god, tragedy struck. The intense heat of the fire god burned Izanami, gravely wounding her. Despite Izanagi's efforts to save her, Izanami died from her injuries. The grief-stricken Izanagi was devastated by the loss of his beloved partner. Her death marked the end of the god's harmonious creation and ushered in the introduction of mortality. This heartbreaking moment reminds us that even the gods are not immune to the painful realities of life and death. Unable to bear the loss of Izanami, Izanagi decided to descend into Yomi, the land of the dead, to bring her back. Yomi was a dark and decaying underworld, a far cry from the vibrant life they had created. When Izanagi found Izanami, she was already transformed by death and decay. However, Izanagi, desperate to see her again, pleaded with her to return to the world of the living. Izanami, saddened by her state, agreed to try, but she warned Izanagi not to look at her while she made arrangements with the gods of the underworld. Izanagi, overcome by curiosity and longing, broke his promise and lit a torch. What he saw horrified him. Izanami had been consumed by the decay of Yomi. Ashamed and enraged by his betrayal, Izanami chased Izanagi as he fled from the underworld, vowing to punish him for his disobedience. Izanagi's escape from Yomi was frantic. He fled from the decaying underworld, with Izanami and her army of underworld spirits chasing him. As he neared the entrance to the living world, he sealed the passage to Yomi with a massive boulder, forever separating the realm of the living from the dead. Izanami, furious at his betrayal, vowed to take 1,000 lives each day. In response, Izanagi declared that he would give life to 1,500 each day, ensuring the cycle of life and death would continue. Having escaped the underworld, Izanagi realized the importance of purification. The journey into Yomi had tainted him with death, and he needed to cleanse himself. This act of purification would have far-reaching consequences and lead to the creation of new deities, including one of Japan's most important gods, Amaterasu. After his escape from Yomi, Izanagi performed a ritual purification known as misogi. He washed away the defilement of death from his body in a river. As he purified himself, 3 powerful deities were born from his cleansing. From his left eye came Amaterasu, the sun goddess and ruler of the heavens. From his right eye came Tsukuyomi, the moon god, and from his nose emerged Susanoo, the storm god. Amaterasu, the sun goddess, would become the most revered deity in Japanese mythology, symbolizing light, purity, and the life-giving force of the sun. This moment of purification marked a new beginning, a renewal of life after the darkness of Yomi. Through this ritual, Izanagi restored balance and ensured that life would continue to thrive, even after his tragic loss. Amaterasu quickly became the central figure in Japanese mythology. As the goddess of the sun, She was responsible for illuminating the world and bringing life to the land. Her light nurtured crops, guided humanity, and represented purity and goodness. Her importance was further solidified when the emperors of Japan claimed to be direct descendants of Amaterasu, linking the imperial family to the divine. However, even Amaterasu was not immune to conflict. Her brother Susanoo, the storm god, caused chaos in the heavens, leading Amaterasu to hide in a cave, plunging the world into darkness. It was only through the clever tricks of the other gods that she was lured out of the cave, restoring light to the world. Amaterasu's role in mythology highlights the balance between light and darkness, life and death, and the ongoing cycle of renewal that defines the universe. The tale of Izanagi and Izanami is more than just a story of creation. It's a reflection of the eternal cycle of life, death, and renewal. Their love brought the world into existence, but their separation brought death and decay. Yet even in death, there is the potential for renewal. Izanagi's purification gave birth to new life, symbolized by Amaterasu's light, which continues to guide and sustain the world. This myth teaches us about the inevitability of loss and the importance of purity in overcoming adversity. It reminds us that even in the face of death, there is hope for new beginnings. The story of Izanagi and Izanami remains a cornerstone of Japanese mythology, offering timeless lessons on the interconnectedness of life, death, and the renewal that follows. What can we learn from this ancient tale? Perhaps it's that every ending holds the seeds of a new beginning, and even in the darkest times, light will find a way to return.